Okay. Okay. AEW Air Order on this Thursday night, December 5th of 2024. What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing good. I know some of you are going to come in later. This schedule's for 10, right? Yeah, this schedule's for 10. So, it's at 10:15. Hope you're all doing good. I'm doing good. I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm going to say it now and put this in the chat at the same time. Make sure to smash to sub and like. There we go. There we go. Right? Oh, sub, not dub, not dub. What am I doing there, man? What am I doing? What am I doing? Alrighty. So, okay, guys. All right. So, yeah, okay. I don't know if Blind is coming in. I don't know if he's seen it yet. What's up, Hundragi? Hey, Derpy. I'm gonna put my link for Blind. If he's seen it yet, he'll come in. I wonder where my buddy Degrassi is. You know what? Okay. I know Degrassi wants in on this. I know he wants in. And I'll send him a link too. If he wants to come in. 8 people. Well, that's good. That's good. 8 people. All right, man. All right. Now, I'm going to be quite honest with you. Guys. Some of you might not like what I have to say about the show, and some of you might agree with me. And now, I'm not gonna bash the show. I'm not here bashing the show. I'm not gonna talk negatively about the show. That's not what I'm here. I'm gonna say that this show, I think this show is better off as a binge watch show. But that's what I just think. I think this is better off as a show to binge than a weekly show. That's one of my arguments for this show. I think this show is better off as a show to binge watch than a weekly show. Okay. I don't think this show is meant for weekly release. Sorry. The episodes are very, very short. They're 20-minute episodes. Okay. I want to see X-Men 97. How long were X-Men 97? I just want to see compared to X-Men 97. How long were the X-Men 97 episodes? So yeah, okay. Yeah, see that if I compare to X-Men 97, X-Men 97 were longer episodes. Okay. I think this show is better off as a binge kind of. Come in, Degrassi. Hey, RJ. Oh, by the way, I got Marvel Rivals. But I think this show is better off as a binge watch show. I don't think this show fits as a weekly show. The episodes are very, very short, 20 minutes basically. I've around 20 minutes, and yeah, they're setting up a lot of the DCU, but the show, me and Blinded kind of discussed this off stream last night, or I don't know. this show is, and Degrassi admits this too. And I mean, I know Degrassi admits this to me too. That the show is not going to get a lot of people to watch. It's an HBO show, right? A Max show. First, not an HBO show, it's a Max show. Here in Canada, it's not even on the app we can use to access Warner Brothers content. We have this channel. We use Adult Swim Canada, Adult Swim. I didn't watch it on Adult Swim because an Adult Swim doesn't debut till tomorrow. I watch it. I watch it on here. I've pirated it because I'm not ready to tomorrow night, 11 o'clock, 11:30 p.m. tomorrow night to watch the first two episodes. I'm not ready to watch that on Adult Swim. Okay, I'm sorry, on TV. I'm not doing that. Um, Well, that's stupid, but because like it's stupid to kick a woman in the private parts because she doesn't have a dick. Whatever. And I don't know if Blind has seen it yet. I don't know if he's seen it yet because I think stuff got in the way for Blinded. I know Degrassi's seen it, but this show fits better as a binge watch show for the sake of the quality. The quality of the show is fine. It's fine. It's all that, but it's better. It's just that a lot of people are not gonna hardcore fans are gonna watch the show. Grace is right that the hardcore gun fans are gonna watch the show, but but the the uh the general audience is not going to watch the show, and obviously Warner Brothers knew that, right? They made it on a Thursday, you released on a Thursday, not a set time on a Thursday, not like 9 p.m. Eastern. They knew that it's not a marquee show, and like it says on Crave TV, it's not on Crave TV here. It's on Adult Swim. You have to watch it. I have to wait till tomorrow. Okay, but okay. And I said this many times. I said this many times leading to this show. This show is not going to get. They know. Warner Brothers knows. James Gunn knows. This is not. This is not the show that's going to get people vested in DCU. This is show strictly. This show is strictly dedicated to hardcore fans. Hardcore fans. Clearly. Degrassi, I sent you a link. Clearly, okay. And Degrassi knows that. I know. Being blind knows that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Cersei fakes death. She's a she fakes. Cersei's been known to be. Cersei is kind of a trickery. She's been known to be trickery, right? And let's be honest, Cersei could easily if she wanted to, she could easily destroy the monster Suicide Squad team, the Creature Commandos, easily if she wanted to. We just got a little bit of a taste of her abilities. Okay, taste. She's a fucking god. I know they say she's spiritually an Amazon, but she's actually a fucking god. Cersei's a fucking god, right? I mean, so yeah, whatever. Cersei is a long-term villain because Cersei is going to be the villain for eventually Wonder Woman. Okay, because you're going to eventually have to do Wonder Woman with Cersei, if one, right? And they're setting up that they talk about the Amazons in the first episode. It's a mascara, and I think, oh my god, and yeah, the Chuds are gonna bitch about the beginning. The Chuds are gonna bitch about the beginning because they kind of make fun of the Chuds, the Chuds. You know the grass I'm talking about, because when Cersei's taking, oh, Cersei's in that country. That made up country is supposed to be like Russia, Eastern European. It's supposed to be basically Russia, Romania, that kind of area, right? I can't say the name, Pozinkian, something like that. Okay, serious, right? And you have like men, rebels or whatever, lining yourself with Cersei, being being manipulated by Cersei. I'll probably seduced too. I mean, Cersei has been known to do that, right? She's also a seducer too. And you know what she does in comics and stuff. She turns people into animals, blasphemors. She hasn't done that yet. I'd like to see that in the future, when she turns the men into blasphemors. Okay, but Cersei makes fun of the point in that part when you watch when you watch seriously, when you watch when Amanda Waller and Rick Flag Sr. are watching what's going down and the news reports, you got some of the men like, take that, you woke scum, whatever. And no man is allowed on the mascara. I heard they have this, and this on the mascara. Yeah, so they're kind of making fun of the chuds there, and I hope the chuds are probably gonna be pissed off. Some of them might be stupid and think, oh, this is such a good show. They're making fun of the wokesters. No, actually, this is them making fun of the chuds, right? Whatever. Okay. Cersei's too powerful a villain. Okay, too powerful a villain. So they did set. I mean, they set up the Amazons existed, right? Like, remember. This universe is not an origin kind of universe. This universe is already villains and heroes. Okay. Oh, here's Degrassi. Yeah.
What is up?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I just heard my voice. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm trying to turn that. All right. Yeah, I was listening to you on my phone.
I'm. I just my opinion. Oh yeah, my opinion. Degrassi. I like the show, but this show should be binge kind of show.
Oh yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, is how much of that is just because you're ready for more instantly, you know,
I,
which I think is it says good things about the show if you don't want to wait. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's
Because
just that
for me, it really it does get better, and
I'm sure it does, but I wish the episodes were longer.
yeah, it'll all even out though.
But I mean I wonder how the Chuds feel because they basically make fun of them in the beginning.
Yeah, they're going to probably shit on it anyway. You know.
Oh yeah. I mean they do pick up I mean it's kind of a good point about Themyscirus, all females allowed, no men are
Well, I mean
allowed.
the I mean the show is far from their definition of woke, so
Oh no, this
they certainly can't use that. But if you know, you need to,
I mean that's
like EVS says, if you can dish it out, you got to be able to take it. Isn't that one of EVS's mantras? I've got the
yeah.
clip. If you're going to dish it out, you got to be able to take it.
And now and also the show they mentioned some stuff from Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad movie that's canon. It canonized the stuff that happened in the past. Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad. They if people noticed, they kind of like because Amanda Waller was they mentioned that Amanda Waller was outed by her daughter. Well, that happened in Peacemaker, right? That happened in Peacemaker. So also the death of Rick Flag's son was in Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, to mention, that was the same Osprey that they landed on in Suicide. They landed on the Corto Maltese.
Yep. And also they recovered Weasel because Weasel survived. Remember,
Yeah,
he
that's what I
survived.
said. That
Yeah, yeah,
um, Rick Flag says he was on this Osprey. He had his last mission on this Osprey went south or something like that, referring to the Suicide
no,
Squad.
no. I know it's a little bit of a difference between Rick Flag Jr. and Senior. Junior seemed more serious, more nonsense. Where Rick Flag Senior seems a little bit more loose, like not down to earth, not as Despite being both military, they seem a little different in terms of personality. Uh,
Yeah, like one might have had a dad around and the other one might not
yeah,
have.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think they'll get into that.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I like not the Monster Squad. I'm gonna call them the Creature Commandos. Well, Frankenstein is not part of the Creature Commandos, but his wife. Well, not his wife, not his bride. It's the bride, but it's not really the bride. The bride of Frankenstein. It's just they call her the bride. You got so you introduce us to the team, the bride. What's the I forget the fish name. Doctor Phosphorus,
Nina Mazursky.
Nina Mizuki, Doctor Phosphorus, Weasel, and GI Robot. I don't know why GI Robot is considered a criminal. It means a fucking robot. Robots are not. I don't know why robots
Yeah,
not
but
fucking
I
right.
mean, he's obviously his programming is a problem. So I mean, he has to be contained and detained if he just thinks
uh,
uh,
he, my
if
point is,
anyone's a Nazi.
I don't know how robot has rights though. Like
He
like a
doesn't. It
human
doesn't
would or
appear that
alien
any
would
of
have.
them do.
Yes, to me, it's just a tool, a tool.
Yeah, and they need, and
Yeah.
he's and he's a resource, and they need to keep him. You know, it's a comic book story, man. I mean, there was a whole. There've been decades worth of stories featuring that character, and
hmm
yeah, it's just
He
weird
thinks
war tale, man.
he's programmed to kill Nazis, right? And
And that's a problem. I mean, like you can't just have a robot out there doing whatever robots do in this world. That's all. That's its primary
yeah,
operation. You know.
he thinks everybody's a, because he'll think anybody's a
Yeah, I
Nazi.
mean, I guess the question is, well, why don't they just like shut him down?
Yeah,
But he's got
and
an origin story coming up.
yeah, they all do. So obviously that's the second episode with Bride. The first episode basically was kind of they go to I don't know the country name. They made the country name so freaking difficult to pronounce. I'm sorry, like come up with an easier name, please. Next, okay, just come up with an easier name. It's like Pozakian or something like I don't know. It's like it's like, I don't know what the name is. It's like Pozakian, Polvikian. I don't know. It's something like that, right? It starts with a P, right? Polikistan.
Polikistan, something like that.
Just come up with an easier name. That's next time, please. Okay, just come like when Marvel came up with Sokovia,
Sokovia.
Sokovia. That's easy, but this is hard.
Yeah, I don't think it won't matter. It won't matter after the show. I don't think very much, but we'll see.
Yeah, and so I mean, there's a lot of humor in this, obviously, because it's James. I mean, this is expected. Obviously, they get sent to the country. Now that's right. They get sent to the country to help out uh, the f- the princess, the queen. Well, you have the queen there, who is basically a vegetable, kind of a vegetable. Still in charge, right? She's a vegetable. She's still alive, but technically, she cannot be. She can. The princess cannot be the queen unless her mother's dead. I mean, it
She's
should
like
be.
the Pope. She's like the Pope right before
Yeah,
pick a new one.
and the bride, the bride is like no nonsense. Doesn't give a damn. She doesn't like anybody, right? Uh, the fish is kind of naive, kind of. Doctor Phosphorus is kind of the humor of the group, right?
Yeah,
Right. Jack Weasel's just Weasel. Now I don't know if Weasel was a human at one point. He has to be. Um, the GI robot, yeah, we know is Sergeant Walk. There's a connection there, right? Something to do with
yeah.
World War II.
None of these. You won't look at any of these characters the same way
I
once you've seen their origins.
so Cersei's goal is kind of take over the country, over one the royal family, whatever you want to call them, right? But she kind of has men loyal to her, and she doesn't
But
like. If you know in the comics, she does not like men. Like that's the thing.
yeah,
This is not
well, that's kind of a
the point, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Cersei is a seductress, right? If the mythological story of Cersei is Homer's Odyssey, and what has happened, if you know the Homer's Odyssey, you know that Homer Homer and his crew travel to the island where Cersei is, and they turn into pigs, right? She tricks them, turns them into pigs, right?
Go.
No, oh yeah, I remember the Simpsons made fun of that. That's true, and that's where the Blasphemous things comes from in DC, where she turns men into animals. Is that story Homer's Odyssey, and here they say she's the Amazon. Um, she might be pretending to be an Amazon because Amazons don't have magic powers like that, unless she has a father that's a god. But Cersei, I believe in mythology, is related to Hecate, who is a witch, kind of a witch goddess with magic, goddess of magic, I
Yeah,
believe.
she's always had powers in the
Yeah,
comics.
Yeah, I mean, mythologically, she's like what Hecate, right? It's like it's Cersei. She's connected to that. Cersei has never been an Amazon. Amazons don't have magic like that. She's pretending. I think she's pretending to be an Amazon.
I don't know. I mean, maybe she in this version that she is
Well,
an Amazon.
her father has to be. It can't be from the mother. Her father has to be a, a god or a god. I mean, like, right?
She's always been a sorceress.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
know, she wouldn't probably be the first or last, as far as I can recall, Amazonian that
well,
wielded
remember,
some kind of
she's known to be
magical power.
she's been known to be deceitful, deceptive, right? She's known to do that too. She's known to lie. She's very good at that, and right, she's known to do that. I mean, I wonder if she has a relationship with Ares. I mean, she has kids with Ares. I think I don't know.
I mean, she was. There was a long time where she wasn't a Wonder Woman villain. She spent more time in other people's books than
She was at one point like a businesswoman, like Donna Milton or something.
Donna Mildred Martin. Donna Mildred Martin.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
points for who, if anybody knows what movie that's from.
I I'm just curious. I mean, yeah, I agree with you in the chat. Like, Cersei is more of a long term DCU villain because you're going to need Wonder Woman and Cersei to eventually meet up in the DCU. The creature commandos cannot be. It's not the answer to that. Maybe in this show they are, but like for long term plans, Wonder Woman has to eventually meet up with Cersei, and Wonder Woman is obviously probably around. Is probably around at this time. I mean, if obviously they're not going to do it, but logically you would think Wonder Woman would be in this country trying to stop Cersei, but maybe Wonder Woman's busy somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a roadmap, a Bible for
Yeah, yeah,
everything. So when you
it's
have a question, that they'll be able to answer it. They're that
yeah.
deep. They're that
It's
far
just
enough into it to be able to
it's
do
just
that.
that some people are like, Cersei's a Wonder Woman. Where's Wonder Woman this time? It's like the same argument when Batman and the Penguin. How come Penguin's doing all this shit and Batman's not doing anything? Because Batman has to do other shit too in the city. You know, there's more crimes than what Penguin's doing. Like Wonder Woman may be a goddess, but she's not. She can't do everything. Like Superman's is actually the same way. Superman maybe have the powers of a god, but he can't do everything, right? Like he can't stop one crime. He a crime. He can stop one crime, but it could be a crime going on in somewhere else in Metropolis at the same time. Like Superman, Wonder Woman, yeah. More likely than Batman, they could do stop that kind of stuff more frequently, but they can't 100% do it. I mean, she might be
It can't.
busy.
Yeah, it can be everywhere.
Yeah, it can't be everywhere. Okay, like it's impossible. Even like, I mean, that's what I hate about the argument with the Penguin. Um, how come Batman's not here? Like, come on, Batman! This is fucking Gotham City. You know how huge Gotham City is?
I thought the implication was, given the end of the movie, that he's helping people. I thought it was
Yeah,
pretty. I thought it was pretty clear that he was gonna be devoting that time immediately following the film, rather than going out and cracking skulls,
he probably has
and
to do both.
saving people that who don't appear to be terribly grateful from for not being mugged or shot or whatever.
I
To
mean,
actually like helping people that will
with the flood, actual
remember
crime
it and carry it forward into their lives, that this supposed dark
he,
avenging creature of the night helped me in broad daylight. That was kind of, I thought that was the whole point of the movie, was the hope that he was
yeah.
going to inspire in people.
Now there was apparently a vision of an apocalypse event where 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 you see dead Peacemaker, dead Starfire, I believe, and dead other heroes. Uh,
Yeah, Superman, Starfire, Peacemaker were the I don't,
yeah.
I gotta have to go back and watch it to remember who
Who
those.
else? Let me see.
I thought it was kind of crazy. He was crucified.
What?
Superman was on a cross.
Oh yeah. Oh, cause the Messiah thing, right? Oh, yeah. The Messiah implication of Superman, even though that's not that the creators did not create him to be like Jesus, they created him to be like Moses.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just you
I
don't
know.
take it literally. It's a vision, and B, it's you know, it's symbolic. It's a vision and
Yeah.
it's symbolic. And I don't know if we should take it too literally.
Polkastan. Yeah, Polkastan. Princess.
I'm gonna
Um,
send you a picture of a screen cap from the show and check out this cannon.
Project Starfish was mentioned. Yeah, of course, because it's all canon. So, oh yeah, a lot of stuff like that. The
I like that the band Gogo Bordello, the band that had has quite a few songs sprinkled throughout the show,
mhm.
is in the show. The band that was playing the song is actually the band that plays the song, the animated versions of it, which is fantastic.
Now the first episode was more a team get together to meet the princess, and princess, instead of focusing on her country, was more obsessed with Big Flag's senior. Just trying to get laid. The first two episodes, she's just trying to get laid. Um,
At some point, that's kind of what everyone's trying to do in the show.
oh, I like Dr. Phosphorus when he's fighting Big Flag Cedar because you can't touch Dr. Phosphorus because you get burned, right?
He
You get
grabs the
burned.
oven mitt.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I laughed out loud.
there is. It's a great. It's great because there's
That was a good cartoon fight too.
Oh yeah, I like the picture you sent me. We're definitely gonna talk about that. That's hilarious that the picture you sent me because we just said that.
So late 60s, early 70s.
Oh my
And 'cause
god,
that,
I think they go like 300, 200 years, 200 to 300 years. Like,
oh yeah, centuries he's been chasing her.
yeah. Oh man, and all of a sudden he's like a millionaire with a yacht or something. Like
Yeah,
he's rich.
Eric Frankenstein's got a life. You know,
Yeah, and it's funny. It's like nobody was throughout the centuries and decades. Nobody was scared of them. Like the humans weren't scared of them. They were able to be out in the public. Like you would think, Frank looking like that to be in hiding, right? Be afraid, but they weren't. They
oh
weren't.
yeah, no, because that's not the world that they live in.
Yeah,
That's not the. I mean, yeah, I like. It's going to go like it's if it's anything like the comics, how far back history goes and how far forward into the future
yeah. It's
it
not like
is. So
it's not
like
like
that's
Zack
what.
Snyder. It's not like Zack Snyder. All of a sudden, oh, metahumans exist. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, at some point that's pretty much how it was, but
Yeah.
how it's
I mean, Vandal
there's all this
Savage.
built-in history.
Vandal Savage has pretty much been metahuman what since the beginning of mankind.
Yeah, wasn't he like a Cro-Mag who
Yeah,
climbed out of a cave and got zapped by a meteor
yeah, and he
or
became
like some kind of alien metal?
yeah,
I
and he's
forget
been
how it went down. Like,
he's like the oldest human, right? He's like the oldest human, and and he's immortal, and he's been apparently around
yeah, he's the
all the
immortal
bad
man.
stuff, like all the wars and all that profiting off the wars and all that shit. Hey
You
RJ,
Hey, what's up, guys?
I'm good.
What's up, RJ?
What's
He,
up?
yeah, I mean, he was of course, like any time, but some writers write them better than others, and there have been a handful of writers that have written that character tremendously, and most haven't. But yeah, he's a good character.
Very good character, Vandal Savage. He's
Yeah, he's been there for all the major world events and stuff.
yeah, yeah. They in the Justice League episode when they go back in time during World War II, they did not use Hitler. They used Vandal Savage instead. I remember that. And then they go in the future. Superman goes in the future and Vandal Savage is the only human alive. And Vandal Savage helps Superman get back to his time. They all think Superman's dead. The Justice League.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, RJ? What do you think?
I mean, I've seen all the episodes, so I've seen the whole thing, so it's a different context for me because I've gotten to see a lot more of the show. But it's good. I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I could say that much. There's a couple things I didn't love about it, which I'll dive into as the weeks goes on, but they're like mostly nitpicky stuff. I mean, it's nothing crazy. Um, but I think fans are gonna love. I think like if you're like a diehard DC fan, the next couple weeks are gonna make people really happy. I think maybe we'll see. It's hard to tell
Yeah,
these days.
this show's for DC hardcore fans.
Well, I think it's for a wide range of people. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna appease hardcores for sure.
I think anybody watching any kind of cape shit animation, if they're not watching this, they're missing out. If they like Harley Quinn, and Kite Man, if they like X Men,
Yeah,
like anything like that, they're missing
they're
out.
missing out. You're right, but those characters you mentioned, Harley Quinn, X Men. I mean, the
Yeah, but
popularity.
it's still a cartoon though. It's still
Yeah,
a
Well,
cartoon on a streaming
that's what I
service.
didn't know. I didn't realize the people who did Harley Quinn, like some of the showrunners and
well,
producers, were this. That was
It's the
surprising.
same. It's the same Yeah, it's the same
this
company.
is I think if Harley Quinn comes back, I still
Dean
think
Lorey.
I think Margot Robbie is going to be coming back as Harley Quinn based on the
Oh, she
canon.
most definitely is. I think that we can all count on that.
Yeah, because it's canon. Not Harley Quinn is canon. What happened to Suicide Squad? The Suicide Squad is canon.
I still think they're going to be a little loose with it, where it's like like for example, I don't think James Gunn. I mean, maybe I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like some characters who maybe die didn't necessarily die. The biggest one, I like, for example, you could retcon Captain Boomerang dying. You could say, "Oh, he didn't actually die," and we
Yeah,
just
he's just going to do what he wants to do.
I think if he,
And then if it discounts anything
I
that
think
came before or
I
adds
think
more context to it, then
I think he
that's
killed
what he
Captain Boomerang.
does.
my biggest question at this point, though, honestly, though, is I'm still wondering when are we going to see Bloodsport and Ratcatcher 2 again? Because those feels like the two characters from the Suicide Squad that would make sense to come back. It's just a matter of when is that going to happen.
I like to see
It's just
Deadshot.
a matter
Oh,
of
no,
time.
I like to see Deadshot come back. You think, or I like to
It's
see
just a matter of time.
Ratcatcher. Yeah, I like to see Deadshot come back. I mean, no, Deadshot could probably fit a Secret Six though. Then Suicide, because he is in a Secret Six also. Deadshot, right? Um,
Yep.
I mean Deathstroke. De- There's a lot of characters they could do. I mean, Deathstroke's probably around this time.
Yeah.
Um,
I think you can reasonably assume everyone is around or has been or will be shortly.
Yes, I will say, and Degrassi, I'll be curious to hear what you think because you've seen the whole show.
Mhm.
Did you feel like they should have done what they did with that trailer for the upcoming episodes where they showed that certain scene, the vision?
But yeah,
I get
because
I get why they did it, but I also feel like for me watching it was one of the bigger surprises just because I wasn't expecting them to go to show that kind of stuff that early, you know?
it's smart. I think it's smart.
Do you think because
It's
you think
only
it's
7 episodes. I mean, they don't really have that much time. 22 minutes. Only
yeah,
got
yeah,
5 episodes left. They don't. I mean, that's what I was telling Aaron earlier today. Just for me, like if I were James Gunn, I would put the Superman trailer at the end of an episode of this show.
I don't think we're getting.
That's where the world. I know that's I don't think it would either, but this
I don't
is
think we're
just
getting
I
it this
would.
weekend either. Superman trailer.
well, I've been saying because that DC Studio Showcase podcast being bi-weekly,
Yeah,
the second episode will coincide with episode 4 of Creature Commandos, which Degrassi, you know that episode has some pretty big stuff in it. Um, in terms of like showcasing the world even more so, you know, with the whole why Cersei's doing what she's doing.
Yeah, because I was gonna that Aaron was talking about her earlier. So we haven't really got to that yet. We haven't got to. We don't really know why she's doing what she's doing, and 2 episodes.
Why she's targeting this country and this person specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of world building in these 7 episodes. There's not a lot of time to futz around with, and they still want to bring you back. And if it's not enough to do what happened in the show to bring you back next week, then they give you a little taste in the.
Well, I guess I can talk about this now because it's not like a spoiler because they revealed it. But next week's episode's the GI Robot episode, which that one's a lot of fun with a lot of deep dives and something that you've been talking about for a while, Degrassi, too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've been asking about a certain animated movie they announced that's going to come back or not.
Like I said, I never heard that it was dead, and I don't think anybody that.
What animated movie?
The Metal Men.
The Metal Men.
Yeah, there was a Metal Men movie that Warner Brothers Pictures Animation was developing with some former Disney animators. It was going to be.
Yeah. Well, because it's not a spoiler anymore. They announced it, but Alan.
It's
Will Magnus will be in the episode next week. So.
Oh yeah, Will Magnus. I know Will Magnus. The second episode is what interesting with the Frankenstein's Bride of Frankenstein's origin, her story. That's crazy. And Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, and I guess I can kind of reveal it now because I did mention in my review there was a character I found a little disappointing. Maybe if I rewatch the show again, I just felt like Frankenstein in the show, Eric Frankenstein. He's not a bad character. I just felt like maybe it's my expectations for what that character could have been. Maybe we're just off. It wasn't what I was expecting. Not in a bad way. Just like he's not in the show very much, but also too, it's just like his role in the show is literally just what you've seen. It's him being a stalker. That's really what his role in the show is.
Yeah.
You know?
He's lovesick.
Yeah.
He's lovesick.
Well, yeah, it's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing or anything. I'm just saying like that's what he does in the show. That's his role.
It's just a doctor, man. Fucks Bride of Frankenstein. Oh my.
Which God. that was that like this show has a lot more sexual content than I think people were ready for.
Oh yeah. Like, and that's
because not even the Suicide Squad. I mean, they had like the Harley stuff with the president, but that was about it, really.
Well, they didn't even. Yeah, that's the closest they did. But in the Suicide Squad, but they didn't even kiss, or she didn't. Yeah. They didn't really do anything in the Suicide Squad.
I was gonna ask you too, Degrassi. Did you have a favorite in the show?
A Flag, I think.
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed G.I. Robot. I thought he's definitely the funniest character of the show, but also too, like, next episode's a lot of fun. Next episode has some really cool action.
And Phosphorus, just because he just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Ensembles work best for me when I can relate to each character. I see a little bit of myself or someone I know in each character, and I don't know. It's between Phosphorus and Flag and their little thing they've got going on. They're tense. It's not a rivalry, but
no,
it's definitely a power play.
Oh yeah, Phosphorus is definitely the more psychotic of the team of the group. You could tell.
I'm excited for everyone to get to see the Weasel episode though, because the Weasel episode is really going to recontextualize that character, for people.
Contextualize? Is that the word you want to use?
Well, I guess recontextualize. Think back about
no, that's what you said, but I mean, even then, I guess there's really no other way to put it.
Yeah.
It's how many episodes are origin episodes?
Now, all of them pretty much.
All of them?
All of them have a flashback to some member of the Commandos.
Even the 7th episode? The last episode?
7th episode, it's Nina.
RJ, that the screeners were... You saw the disclaimer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that. It was kind of vague. It read kind of. It was vague to me.
Hmm. Well, I think also too, you know how streaming is because I was talking to some people in the Discord for the DCU Home of DCU's Discord. Someone said that in the edited version that they saw for the streaming release, the trailer, the what's coming up next trailer, showed a shot of the princess that looked a very certain way. Degrassi knows what I'm talking about. But then later they said that that was removed. So these streaming companies love to edit stuff and move stuff around and just kind of like
No, I
insert
mean the
pieces
disclaimer
in.
pretty much says that these aren't the final versions of
Exactly, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
these
like,
episodes. So
right, yeah, and I mean, I mean, what I saw was pretty
This
close to what I saw on the screeners, at least for the first two episodes.
this
I'll be
yeah,
looking
yeah.
there, but
this show does not have many critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Only 27. Wow. It's not. I mean, this is
I mean, it is a TV show. TV show. I mean, also too.
it's animation.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I'm not trying to like downplay animation or anything, but I think they kind of know that this show is going to have a smaller audience compared to say a big
Yeah,
like, Man movie. But that's okay. That's fine because they
but
know
Warner
that.
Brothers knows that.
Yeah.
They know that. They otherwise they would not
And
green like this.
I keep hearing people keep saying the weekend of the 15th for that Superman trailer. I don't
What-
know.
Well,
it's just,
I saw somewhere where I think on the DCU Reddit that somebody asked James Gunn, "Is it true it's going to be released on the 16th?" He said no.
Yeah, which Grace was the one who put that out there. But
Yeah.
she said it was a press event on the 16th, not.
Well, did
public.
she say that on the 9th? Did we do the whole stream on that? She said the 9th?
Well, yeah. But she clarified even more so that now she's here and it got moved a week.
Oh, she's moving the goalposts.
Well, yeah, that's what they all do.
well,
What they all do.
that
But we'll see. I mean, I think it has to come out before December 20th. So
yeah.
it doesn't have to come out until like February, as far as I'm concerned.
Here's the thing.
Well, it could. I mean, they could wait till the Super Bowl if they want to. They could.
Here's
But
also
I think they're going to drop at least some kind of small. I've been saying they're going to follow the Barbie template where it's a teaser that really doesn't show anything. But
yeah.
the logo
When the Batman '89 teaser came out,
It could be the Superman anniversary. RJ's right because it is coming up.
yeah, it's December 15th.
Yeah, no, I know. I just
If it's not that, I'm not gonna say.
And it doesn't have to even be a trailer. It could just be the first teaser poster or something.
Yeah,
6 months is. I mean, it used to be the standard, but it's not really so much anymore.
I'm just saying.
They try and go back to
I don't
it.
think it's gonna be Christmas now because I know football and basketball are on Christmas now, but none of the games are on Warner Brothers. None of them.
Yeah, that won't matter. That doesn't matter if it's if that's the thing with a movie this big. It won't matter if it's a Warner Brothers.
Unless they want to get people to watch the NBA All-Star game, they could release it at the NBA All-Star game on TNT.
But that's what you could do, though. You could do it to where it's like, teaser.
That's the thing. If it's attached to they have agreements where like the reason why they would attach a trailer like Superman to Mufasa is because Mufasa's in 5,000 screens. That's why.
They want to put the trailer in his front.
Yeah, in front of as many eyes as humanly possible. So it seems to me like they should have had it ready for Wicked, but whatever.
It's Wicked Warner Brothers
or Universal. It could also be.
It doesn't matter who it is. That they still have agreements where one studio will attach their trailer to another studio's movie.
They do that all the time.
Back and forth.
Well, I think they might be trying to get it ready for Sonic because I feel like Sonic will be a pretty big movie. Got a lot of kids and families too. Get that audience in.
Yeah, those two movies. It's definitely not from Craven because Craven's rated R, and you're not going to get families for that. Well, some families.
Well, Craven, they're putting out trailers like the new Ballerina trailer, will play in front of Craven.
Oh yeah. Well, that's because Ballerina comes out very soon, I believe. It's because Ballerina is being presented at I know Ballerina was being presented at CCXP.
Yeah, everyone was really hoping that they would do something for CCXP, but obviously that's not happening. So.
The thing is, CCXP is it's not as big.
I mean,
as
it's
people think.
big. It's big. It's
just-
just not that big.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
not.
It's a comic book. I mean, it's primarily a comic book, and
It's.
I
But
mean,
it's.
they've done stuff for DC before. I think they showcased Wonder Woman 84 there, and they've showcased like Aquaman and stuff there, like back in the day. But
It's.
you know,
Its
post
thing is,
pandemic, it's not been the same.
It's not. It's not. Obviously, it's nothing. It's like San Diego. It's not even New York Comic Con.
Well, I've been saying too. I feel like DC is going to make New York Comic Con like their home turf, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where that'll kind of be their convention that they like to go to.
they should have never moved to California.
Who?
DC.
Oh, you should see this. They should have stayed in New York.
Yeah. DC and Marvel, you were both. No, I'm
New
not
York,
talking. I'm talking about publishing. They were both in New York.
Yeah,
Uptown and downtown.
Yeah, all the comics started in New York. Well,
and then
yeah.
Some I don't know. It's been in the last 15 or 20 years when they moved to.
That's where the birthplace of American comics was based in New York, right?
Was it L.A. or San Diego? I can't remember.
Well, San Diego may lose Comic Con in the next.
San Diego is where Wildstorm.
San Diego may lose Comic Con. There's been I think the reports came out this year that San Diego may lose Comic Con.
Yeah, that's been in the works for years, but I just don't see it happening.
But San Diego needs it because it helps the economy.
There's plenty of other stuff to.
But they lost a lot. Their sports scene has been dismantled. When they lost the football team.
The cons are the convention business is a dirty effing business.
Yep.
And some of these companies like to hold these cities hostage. The tourism bureau or the chamber of commerce and the convention owner and the venue. And then you have studios and publishers and video game. It's just a mess.
Oh yeah.
The one that I'm glad I'm not a part of anymore.
The thing about CCXP that doesn't do it. Other comic book conventions, they really don't do Apple or Paramount like CCXP because Apple doesn't really dive into comics. Paramount doesn't really go into comics kind of stuff, right? Where CXP was willing to have upcoming Apple shows, movies, Paramount, and other, right? Like usually Comic Con is usually what? Amazon, because they have the Boys, Marvel, and Disney, and Marvel and Warner Brothers, right? Usually, right? But you don't hear anything from Apple or Universal, barely, right?
A lot of people sleep on South by Southwest too, but a lot of stuff gets dropped at South by Southwest in Austin in the spring too. So
yeah,
it used to just be music, but now it's just whatever you got to promote.
Yeah, that's a CCXP. I mean, I'm just checking the schedule right now. CCXP. I mean,
I was curious too what you guys thought about the James Gunn cameo in the intro. Cause some people are like losing their minds about it.
Oh, self-insert stuff, or just break out. Oh, the Zack Snyder.
Like some people are just like genuinely so upset, and I'm just like, it's just so funny to me. Like watching.
It's just like it's. What did you expect? Like
exactly.
Are you surprised by any of it? There are going to be people that are going to hate this show, no matter what.
Oh yeah,
right?
I mean that's the Zack Snyder. They're definitely gonna hate the show. I mean that's
like the same people that complain about the sexual content in the show.
Oh yeah, that too's been really funny.
Yeah, well, those are the same people that are pulling their taffy rod of hentai every day.
Yeah.
So
and the other funny thing is too, and I was talking to someone who was reviewing the show. They said Snyder people are going to be so angry with episode 4. They're gonna be so. They're gonna. I mean,
they're angry now.
Oh no! Because if you saw the what's coming up next on the show trailer, it shows that vision. Like not even the full thing. It's like they took that.
Oh, nightmare scenes like that.
Yes. Yeah. It's like James Gunn can crucify Superman and show him as Jesus, but Zack Snyder can't. Nobody said that. You know.
Did anybody, was that part of, did they tell him no? I mean, it
Was
wouldn't
it
surprise me if it were true, but that does sound like some made up bullshit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that like they're so offended, being like, see, everyone's fine with it now, but when Zach did it, everyone hated it, or they're just upset that it's even in there because it's like it shows
Like,
hypocrisy.
I don't know where this, I was talking to somebody about this earlier today, where this perception that nobody likes Zack Snyder's DC stuff came from.
I think
Has that ever been? That's never been the issue?
No,
Has it?
no. The biggest thing has just always been it's been divisive. Some people really love it. Some people just don't care for it. I mean, no one's denied that there's been an audience that loves this stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was just generally just the general consensus among most nerds was that they're pretty good superhero movies, right? No, I've never disputed that. What I have disputed is behavior of some people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've poked the bear, right? And there seems to be a lot of like
BVS.
You know, we're gonna show them like BVS just because you like this stuff means that you're somehow like I told this person, look, I'm not driving around with James Gunn's flags and stickers on my pickup truck.
Yeah. See, the thing is, BVS, whether it was successful or not, was not changing the direction. Zack Snyder was going to was directing Justice League. He was filming Justice League as when BVS came out.
Well, you know why though, right?
Why?
Because they were trying to rush that movie into production to meet its deadline that they couldn't afford the time to get another director. It's like, well, we just got to push forward. Get this movie done. We're just going to give you a lot of notes and have people on the set supervising you to make sure it's what we want. Which, by the way, that's why I can't wait for that book, even if it is by Tatiana Siegel, just because I'm like, I am sure there will be some juicy stuff about that, even if it's like somewhat bullshit. I would just
somebody
love
last night on the stream was oh yeah, but she's 50-50 for me.
Oh, I know.
Somebody last night was trying to
like a little bit more of a clue about what happened during that time.
You can't. Yeah, somebody on a panel was trying to discount one trade by legitimizing another.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, but see, they're both the same company. They don't have. There's no. The editorial oversight of each one of those companies' rags is pretty much top down, all of the same people in some capacity. And I just don't understand how somebody can be like, I believe Variety, but not THR.
Oh yeah, it's Penske, right? Penske.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Most of this stuff it takes no more than like a 2-minute Google. I don't recommend Google anymore. Use Bing or some other. Google will just straight up give you shit. And everybody, please stop using ChatGPT as a search engine. It's going to lie to you. Please stop, everyone.
ChatGPT. Yeah, I don't know. It's hilarious, man. I can't believe people rely on that shit.
There's an over reliance on it now to the point where it's like if you can't see it, you're the one doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. The other big thing today too was the David Ayer going off about his.
Oh my god.
Doing some photo reveals and people tweeting about that, trying to push it again today. Which I'm trying to remember. Like, is there like a significance to today as to why they're doing it today? I don't even remember.
Is it a shot at James Gunn's future commands? I don't know.
No, because I don't think David Ayer would do it today if it was meant to be a shot against James Gunn.
Does he have a new movie coming out?
Is he doing the B too? Did he do the B? Is he doing a B?
No, I'm saying like, did something like was December 5th like some important day
No.
where like something came out about?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Why has he done this? Does it always coincide with this day or something?
No, I just figured that they would do
Is
this
there
stuff
a
on certain
history?
days to coincide with something. You know, like they do stuff on 11/17 for the Snyder Cut because that's when the movie came out, or something, or the original film came out, or whatever. That kind of stuff.
Jesus
That kind
Christ,
of,
man! What is the
that,
deal with fucking like arbitrary anniversary days?
no, I know, but that's how you coordinate social
Like,
media campaigns. You gotta find a special
They-
date or some kind of
this-
anniversary
this-
to
this-
coordinate it.
The Snyder Cut has done that all the time. Oh, this day, let's do it. Let's get this trending. Let's get this out.
it's gonna yeah, I don't know. It's
David Ayer should probably.
life's about to get real hard for a whole lot of people, and if all we've got to grouse and argue and piss and moan and fight about is this nonsense, the distractions are just.
Yeah, you work in the entertainment industry, right?
Ouch.
You worked in the entertainment industry.
Yes.
Well, shit like this happens all the time. Directors get screwed. Over.
I mean, it's
Right?
pretty much the par for the course.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the exception, it's the rule. It's not
Yeah.
a bug, it's a feature.
It's not. It's a cold business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
I've
not
said
quite as
multiple
cold
times-
as being the CEO of a healthcare insurance company. What do you call that, fellas? A good start.
Oh,
Yeah,
Or being-
I've said multiple times I'm on board for them releasing the Ayer cut. I just don't think it's going to happen until 2026 because unless it's for like the 10-year anniversary, there's really no reason to do it. You know, like there's no financial.
I understand that everything gets an anniversary now, you know, but does that movie warrant dumping several $1 million into it to put a new cut together, you know, and
Well, the way he talks,
finished
though,
visual effects, and you know, it's
well, the
just
way
like
the
with
way he
Schumacher cut,
talks
too.
about it, though, he's acting like it's not the same situation. Like it's just a different edit of the movie. It's already done. Like it's a lot simpler.
It's not. But it's not.
So
Is it ready? Is it ready for like
the Snyder cut where like the movie needs visual effects work?
Yes, and it will also need to be formatted for premium large formats, which will require additional CGI and VFX, right? CGI VFX. It will also need. It's just cost prohibitive, man. You know, the Schumacher cut is definitely more likely. I don't think it's going to happen either, but it's definitely more likely. If they just shit them out the way they are now as a special feature in the streaming package or on a disc, sure, right?
I mean, you could just do it as a streaming release.
Just
drop
please,
it.
stop with the fucking extended edition director's cut nonsense. I get
But
it.
that's
Soon
the thing,
Ridley
though.
Scott's not going to
The
be
only
making
reason it's going to
movies
happen.
anymore.
That's the thing. The only reason it would happen is if they felt like they could make money off of it.
And
I'm not
pretty
sure how
they
you
don't
can.
think they can.
That's what I'm saying. The only way I could see them trying to make money off of it is if you release it as a 10-year anniversary Blu-ray or streaming release or something, where you
But even
coincide
then,
it, like
I mean,
you
it's
release
like
the movie.
4K. It's still expensive to put a movie on 4K.
I
disc.
think you're just. I think if you release, I think it's just gonna confuse people with this DCU stuff. Be like, wait, is this part of DCU? I think it's confusing. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna release it.
At least I don't think while Gunn and Safran are
Yeah.
the puppet masters that they should,
How,
you know,
I
that they should be cranking anniversary shit out unless it's to home video, right?
Yeah.
And even then, that's dicey, man.
I don't know how much it would make off selling a home video. I mean, like.
Yeah, but it's a niche market. So
Yeah.
I mean, like even really, physical media is there's a profit there, Aaron. There is profit there, especially for the majors. the major studios see a profit from home video. So
Yeah.
that's why it's not. That's why they're still, you know, if a studio like Paramount doesn't put half of their own movies out, they'd let other companies do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all gravy to Paramount. It's all gravy to Sony, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if Sony's basically, if they're Paul, they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Um,
I just think the thing is too, I feel like it's just the ship just may have sailed at this point. Like it should have been like a double. The thing is, honestly, it should have been a joint venture where they did the Snyder Cut and the Ayer
Yeah.
Cut together as one package. You know,
That's
I
right.
really feel like they should have just done it as a double package and just because then that way it's like you're getting 2 stream releases out of it during the pandemic. You know.
I figure Ayer doesn't bring it up unless he's got a movie coming out he doesn't want to promote that somehow ends up being successful anyway.
I thought people liked this
Yeah.
last movie.
That's what I'm saying. And the Beekeeper ended up. I mean, they're going to make another one.
Yeah, I thought they were making.
It's the reason why the Chuck Dixon thing's happening.
Yeah.
David Ayer and Jason Statham are adapting adapting a series of Chuck Dixon novels for Amazon MGM.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
No, I don't think like that. Like any of that shit, man. Like just.
He's actually David Ayer's actually responding.
I think the problem is though, honestly, it's because these directors, Ayer specifically, he's emotionally attached to this, and his heart is like he can't give that up. It's like his Moby Dick. It's his white whale. It's the thing that's getting away from him a bit. You know what I mean?
And that is
it personally, which I get as a director, it probably hurts.
Yeah, but that level of obsession is mental illness, RJ.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying he's a mentally healthy person. I'm just saying that's what I noticed.
I've seen some of his posts that like they sounds like they border on unhinged.
They broke him.
Yeah, and I just think for David Ayer, it's an emotional attachment to where he needs that emotional catharsis to get it out there.
I think with
Snyder, I'm not sure what it is because the thing is, I don't think if these two directors came out and said that they moved on and they would like their fans to move on, I think the majority would stop.
I don't think they care. I mean,
that's the thing,
and I don't blame them. I don't. Why would they care? I mean,
yeah.
That's the thing. They're going to keep it going on forever and ever and ever until they say something.
The worst thing.
I just think that for the most part, they're probably. The reality is, in their aloofness, it's not going to occur to them. The last thing that either one of those dudes are fucking thinking about at any given moment on any day is, gee, I wonder what they're tweeting about me today. I understand that they're both vain and narcissistic, filmmakers, but at the same time, like any consideration about what flyover country thinks about their work
the only director is very active on social media that I know is actually James Gunn. He's very active. There's others. I mean,
Scott Derrickson's pretty active from what I've seen.
Yeah.
There's someone else.
But James Gunn responds to people, just regular people. Like, if he doesn't know you, he'll still respond to you. Like I don't see Scott Derrickson doing it, but
because it's kind of like if you ever meet him, you'll be very shocked at how just.
I think James Gunn. I think it's
like guess what? He's a real person too, Aaron.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think he's a real life human being too.
I think he's a director, but I think he's one of those directors that still thinks he's like one of us. He still has the arrogance hasn't got to him. That's why he responds to people like us.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
But
I mean, I wouldn't call it arrogance. I just think he's confident, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying.
So is Snyder. Snyder's confident, right? You have to be confident to. It may be all show too, because you know how artists are.
I don't
You
mean
know,
like I think it's just
they're
one of
everybody.
us.
We're crying on the inside. You know,
I just think
the
it's like,
smile. The smile is just it doesn't always show everything. You know, there's
I
so
think
much a smile won't show. So
he really shows. I think he's just still he's still a nerd at heart, and by responding to people, he feels that way, right? Because he still feels he's one of us nerds and stuff like that. That's why he responds to fans, even if they ask him questions that he debunks or stuff like that, or just random questions. You don't see other directors do that. Yeah, some directors do talk to do tweet or I don't know what they call him, Blue Sky. I don't know. He call it tweet on Blue Sky now. I don't know. I call it tweet on Blue
it's a
Sky.
it's a you skied on blue sky.
Okay. Um, I
I
know.
just call them posts.
I know David Sandberg at one point was pretty active responding to fans. I think for
Yeah,
Scram.
but he was pretty much ran off of social media, man. It's
Oh, I defend Shazam too for him.
it's a decent movie. I don't know what anybody expects. Now I can see why people are like, ooh, yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I was just thinking that back then. I knew Zachary Levi back then was in weird stuff, but like this, like now.
Yeah, that's the thing is that I don't know. I don't care what the dude believes as long as he doesn't push it in my
The
face.
thing is, there's people that in Hollywood are still working, have views like him. They just don't talk. They just don't say it.
There's a lot of people in that's most
Yeah.
businesses. That's most
Yes.
employers.
Yes.
You know, nobody's nobody's changing anybody's mind, man. That's what everybody's got to. I think once everybody comes to terms with that, that you know,
I was. I mean, I was. The thing is, I'm starting to find the celebrities are a lot more active on Blue Sky. They're like posting so much more stuff on Blue Sky. Now they don't respond to fans, but like they're a little bit more active on Blue Sky than
yeah. What I've found a couple of different uh, starter packs where
yeah.
if you
Yeah,
want to
those are
learn,
those are cool. I do like
if
that
you
Blue Sky has that option where like
if
it's
you
like
want
a
to learn
group.
something, right? Like if you want to learn the fundamentals of screenwriting, right? Find a screenwriter starter pack full of screenwriters because they're like
Oh,
editors and screenwriters and focus pullers and
like Wahlberg,
gaffers. They're all on there
like
and they're
Wahlberg,
all posting technical information. People
like
asking them
Wahlberg.
questions about how they do what they do, and they're giving them
Yeah,
real
yeah, I see
answers.
that. I see Robert Cargo. Is that his last name? I see him give
Yeah,
advice for screenwriting on
yeah,
Blue
he's
Sky.
one of them.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I mean they screenwriters helping out other screenwriters. You wouldn't think like that because like competition, but no, they're helping each other out.
That's the thing about. I think that's the thing that nobody. I mean, you have to. Somebody has to read your shit. Somebody has to give you notes. Somebody,
hmm
you know, if you're friends with these people, why aren't you using them?
Yeah,
You know, well, it's a
yeah,
read thing. No, not when you know you're one writer who's written one thing and you're best friends with another writer who's written another thing and you've both written together. Somebody's got to read it before it goes in front of
I
a student or reader. You know,
I would say if you were
before anybody
screenwriting,
covers it, before anybody covers it at a studio, you should probably run it through your buddies first.
yes, people you know, yeah, because um, yeah, you might get proofread first because you might have mistakes. You know, sometimes the best head. Sometimes you go into the studios, they might not be they might not be actually knowledgeable about writing. You know, actual screenwriting. Like if the right, you know, if you go to the head of the studio and you read, it's okay RJ, if they read the script, but they might not. But the script might not be making sense, but they don't realize that. But if you go to another writer, you get a different point of view.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely need feedback. I
Yeah,
mean,
RJ, yeah. Like I bet right, you're actually like a studio head may not exactly be knowledgeable about screenwriting.
well, I don't think many of them are today.
Right?
I wouldn't say that. Who do we got? I don't think Zaslav knows the first thing about screenwriting. I'm
Well,
trying to
I don't
remember
think
where he
that's
started.
not his forte, right? Movies was not his forte. Wasn't
Well,
like
and I wouldn't expect a
Hollywood?
studio. I guess I wouldn't expect he's more than just a studio head.
Did,
He's
do
running a multinational
the studio has to
and
actually read the script,
multimedia conglomerate.
or they have somebody read it for them? Because like
What's that? I'm sorry. Say that again.
the studio has actually read the scripts of films that they possibly
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, or they have somebody read it for them
read it
and
for
be
them.
like,
You
this
think
is what
is
the yeah.
I
But
think
I
it,
mean, they have
I
they
think if
still
you
have people read. There's a whole department within a
I think
studio
I
or a
think
production house that reads scripts.
if you anybody whoever reads the script, whether it's the screenwriter, the studio head, friends, actors, read it out loud. Don't read it out loud because sometimes when you read something out loud, it may not make sense. Reading something with when you're just reading it, right? It might make sense in your head, but when you read it out loud, it might not make sense. And you can notice that when you're. I think that's why sometimes in some movies they're allowed to do a little improv because it won't make sense. Some of the actual scripted lines,
Yeah,
right?
and there are
Yeah,
also uh, script reader services that you
you can.
can employ to
You know,
that
what industry. You
do
know, what
all
industry.
that for you. So
What industry is good at that? Wrestling. Wrestling. Wrestling industry is good at that.
good at what?
Um, Not exactly
I'm
reading
sorry.
the lines. You may have to reading the lines, and this stuff doesn't make sense. You want to change it with your own words. Because if I'm a wrestler and I have like a specific way of reading lines, like I don't want to say stupid stuff like
Well,
Roman
there's
Reigns.
some directors just want you to read what was on the page
Yeah,
and not.
but once but right, Degrassi, when you're right. It's just that when you read it out loud, yeah, this doesn't sound right,
It doesn't
and
matter if it doesn't matter. It depends on who the
that then you get a
director is.
bad
Read
movie.
if the director tells you you just don't just read what's on the
Is
fucking
it?
page. I'm directing you, and I will tell
Oh,
you where to be and when to be
I,
there and how to do it. And you just the words that you say, you should know when to say them and how to say them based on my direction, right?
and
And some directors are like, I'm going to direct you. You know what you're supposed to say,
so
but I
I
mean,
think
you
a
got to
good
be. I think you got to be clear with your talent, especially on set, about what you want. I mean, that's the whole point of being a director.
I think good directors should take suggestions from talent.
Well, yeah, you got to have a good actor. Well, yeah, a good
Like
director is
someone
definitely
step
going to be
up.
open.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but if that's not your style, though,
Now you cannot have an actor be a diva and say this is shit. I can't say this. I'm walking off set. You can't have an actor be like a diva
if
without.
if part of your style as a writer slash director
I mean,
is to just read what's on the fucking page, then that's your
I'm
style, and you're the boss, and your actors should be expected to do that.
yeah.
I mean, it's that. I mean, it sounds pretty shitty, but that's what they're paid to do. You know?
But a good actor should. I mean, yeah, that's true. But good actors usually, good actors usually will probably know this doesn't make sense, and they probably tell the director. And you're right. If the director's up, just read the lines. I mean,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Just read the fucking lines. We got you. Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised, Aaron, how.
yeah,
I mean, you have to be like a delicate blend of sociopath and psychopath, like something that shouldn't exist to be a filmmaker, to be a director or an auteur like that. It takes a special kind of
that's why
human being who has the ability to be both
I feel
like
like
the world's greatest empath and the coldest person who's ever
I
existed
feel,
at the same time.
I feel
It's
like actors should get into directing are a little bit more open minded to actors and actresses in the directing have input in the lines,
well,
and
yeah,
right? Instead of actual directors who never really acted, because there are directors who never acted, but there are also
yeah.
directors who acted. Like,
I
and
don't know if I've ever I can't think of any actors who became directors that were terrible.
no,
Really, I'd have to look. you know. But I don't.
I mean, Skeleton Crew has a great acting at
They
directing.
usually know. They usually know what's up. You know what I mean? Because they know. That's the one thing is I don't how technical that job is. It's not just about like, oh, this is what I want to see. You know, I mean, there is shit you got to know. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah, you have your crew that helps you get there, but you still need to know how to tell them what you want. You can't just say I need this light to be really bright. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
You got to have some knowledge of different kind of lighting techniques and shit, and different kinds of lights and filters and gels.
Mm-hmm.
That's like everybody thinks it's all glamorous, and like how much
The
of it
only,
is actually just really like trade work, like like tradesman, like a plumber or carpenter, you know.
well, but the only thing about wrestling is, with some wrestlers are given the green light to say what they say want to say, but if they're in a bill line with another wrestler, you got to make it. It has to make sense so the other wrestler can respond.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they're doing
like,
everything live, and they
did
don't
you,
get a second take, man. You
yeah,
know
I
what I
don't get a
mean?
second take unless it's the only thing that's really take they do the takes on is maybe some backstage segments. So some backstage segments are live. It's the vignettes. The
Yeah,
vignettes are
yeah.
taped. But if you remember, like the Ultimate Warrior segment when he finally came to WCW, he stood there for 20 minutes confronting Hogan and Bischoff, and Hogan and Bischoff like had no clue what he was saying. How do you respond to a wrestler that is just making up gibberish, just saying gibberish in a promo? How do you respond to that? You
I
can't.
I, I remember Jim the Anvil Neidhart doing that a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, how do you like?
Bret
If you
Hart would
did,
just be standing there going, "What are you fucking saying?"
yeah, like like if you're the like right. I mean, obviously, I think now. I mean, some wrestlers are better off cutting promos on their own. Like obviously, you could tell the ones are really good at it, they're comfortable about it. Um, but obviously, when they're in a feud, they talk to their opponent, whoever, and some say this is okay. It's okay if I say this, this, and this. You won't get offended, right? Right? Because there's been incidents where even though they're part of the feud, some of the stuff they say in the feud it gets too personal. It also becomes like a shoot, and it becomes it doesn't be it's not really a kayfabe anymore. It becomes real. You gotta be
Yeah.
careful, right?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because it happens in wrestling is more common than people think. I mean, CM Punk does it a lot. Um, I mean, I think Scott Steiner did it all the time. Scott Steiner, when he did the promos in WCW, they were not kayfabe promos. They were all shoot promos. Everything he said was shoot promos. Everything,
Yeah.
everything, everything he said was a shoot. Um, sometimes shoot promos. Sometimes good wrestlers could fake a fake promo into a shoot promo. It can make it seem like it's an actual shoot promo. Really good
That's what
one.
I liked about Attitude Era. Kind of was that there sometimes a lot of promos felt very shooty.
Yes, yes.
But how far did we get on Creature Commandos? We got through the first episode.
We talked a little bit about the second. A little bit of the second was when it's
Yeah.
basically the bride's origin, right? Like,
Yeah, next week, and Skeleton Crew too, both of those shows. And it seems to me lately, most shows don't really start cooking until around the third or fourth
oh,
episode.
I wanted to talk to you about Skeleton's Crew. I mean, I like
I,
the premise so
I,
far.
I loved it. I love it. I get,
I tell
I get
Blinded, Blinded's,
I feel the
you know,
vibe.
Blinded.
I get it.
I know, like Blind is not the biggest Star Wars guy because he's been. But I tell him that Skeleton Crew is not like the past Star Wars shows. It's very different.
See, the kids aren't corny. They're in a,
No,
they're in a play. We're familiar with some of the characters from The Mandalorian.
yeah,
There's even apparently one of the characters is even there's a couple characters from Return of the Jedi from Jabba's palace that are in that crew.
nice.
And
Urkel bot, we got Urkel in it.
yeah, it's just like I said, the kids aren't corny.
And this
And any ensemble, like I said, I want to be able to
it's
relate to.
it's a pirate story. This show is a pirate story, right?
Well, I
Pirate.
got not only Goonies vibes, but Joe
Yeah,
Dante's Explorers as well.
yeah.
Um, about the three boys who build they find some alien code that they generate like a bubble of oxygen that will fly them into space. And
Yeah.
great
So
movie. Watch Explorers, everyone. If you have
like,
never seen
like my
Explorers, and if
theory
you
on
have seen it, watch it again.
like my theory on the show is that the ship crashed on that planet, and that planet might be seen as a mythical planet that doesn't exist. But the ship that crashed is a pirate crew. Is obviously a pirate crew, but they believe that that planet actually did exist, and there was treasure there and stuff like that. And they actually went. Unfortunately, they died.
Well, I
Right?
think what happened was the planet is obviously hidden
Yeah, it's
because they
hidden
had to go through the whatever
barrier.
they had a name, the barrier. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then the Great Work. Now, the Great Work was the Great Works were what the Jedi expansion of the Jedi expansion through the galaxy was called during the High Republic.
hmm
Um, so when they say the Great Work, like I wonder, they have Old Republic credits. I wonder, like
they're
how
all
long,
pirates. All the
like how
pirates.
long have these people? Yeah, how long have these people been hidden on this planet? They clearly not they know about Jedi, but
Yeah, you
they
know
don't
about
say anything about the Empire. They don't know anything about any of that. So it appears that this society has been existing
they.
and like subsisting on its own without the Empire or the Republic for God knows how long, right? And a very neat, very ordered society where they're
Very.
clearly the people are trapped there, right?
And they
They
all have
just don't
and
know it.
they all have destiny future jobs,
Yeah,
what
so
the professions.
there's definitely a greater story about
Yeah.
their home planet and what the history of it. And now that it's out that it might be real, you're going to have everybody and their grandma looking for
Yeah,
it.
because of pirates, you're gonna think there's treasure, lots of treasure there because of the
Yeah,
credit.
I mean it's what it's called. It's called
Yeah,
the Lost Planet of Eternal Treasure. Was that what it
yeah,
was called?
yeah.
So
Adam, yeah.
yeah, there's something that So now we know that, and we know Jude Law's character is a scoundrel and a thief who was trying to bamboozle those pirates for some reason, and we know he's got force powers. So there's a lot going on, man. You know,
yeah. I
you've
mean,
got
right away.
some relatively likable kids. You've got a big actor playing a scoundrel and a wizard. You've got cool aliens and spaceship
I
battles.
think
So yeah, I mean
I
it's kind
wonder.
of like
I wonder if Jude
what
Law.
somebody like me always hoped they would get out of Star Wars,
I
especially
wonder,
when they were kids, so I can watch it now and appreciate it.
I wonder if
So
Jude Law's character was at one time an apprentice of Jedi.
if this is in the same time as Mandalorian and
Oh,
Ahsoka,
then no, he can't. Well, he can be. He could be one of the survivors of the. Well, how young would he be in Revenge of the Sith?
he would have had to have been a Padawan.
So yeah,
Um, because
yeah,
this
he
is
could.
right. It's shortly after Return of the Jedi. All the Mandoverse stuff is what, like 3 to 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
So he would have been, yeah. So I guess he's older than Luke at that point, right?
yeah,
So he would have been. So he knows how to use the Force somehow,
yeah. I mean, somebody had to teach him it, right? You just don't know.
unless it's a trick like Kumail Nanjiani's character in
Oh yeah, yeah. Was that Obi Wan?
Obi-Wan. Yeah,
Yeah. It's interesting because we know he's bamboozling the kids. I mean, the kids are gonna be his new crew, right? Because they had immunity against him, right?
yeah.
Um, I mean, 5 10 minutes in the first episode, I just knew that was Jude Law's character. I mean, that's obvious. That was just
Oh
obvious.
yeah, no. If you knew that Jude Law was in the show,
Yeah,
you knew that was him. I mean,
yeah, yeah, for sure. If you knew, it was just obvious. The wolf, I guess the wolf is now the captain. I forget.
yeah. That is a cool character, man. I'm sorry,
I forget.
cool look.
But
It's going all the way back to original Star Wars.
one
Cool
of the
look, cool
pirates,
voice.
one of the pirates in episode 2 was in the Mandalorian, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but he didn't work. He worked for another pirate
yeah.
captain.
And that guy's dead, isn't he?
Is he okay?
Yeah, and so
He found a
what
new
is it?
crew.
Brutus.
He found a
That's
new
what.
crew. Now he's with
If
the wolf.
Papa was in the Star Wars universe and he saw Brutus, he would be like Brutus.
I like Fern. You're right. Fern is like if Han Solo and Leia had
Yeah, she's
a
like the daughter that Han and Leia never had.
yeah. I like. It's like
So her mom was the superintendent at the
yeah,
school, right? Okay.
yeah. That was the. And her mom has no idea that her daughter is a rebellious side. She plays a good girl at home.
Yeah, yeah. It's how it usually goes in real
Yeah,
life.
yeah. It's a teenager thing, right? That's a
Yeah,
yeah. And she yeah, you're right about she's like the Leia and the Han. She's strong willed like Leia, but he has the attitude like Han, right? Like I like how she tricks Nick Frost's character. Like I'm the
yeah,
captain now.
yeah,
I'm the captain. Oh, he scares Wim. Wim is the child, the character, the kid's name, right?
yeah.
Wim the
Whim,
Bill.
I like it. I like
Yeah,
whim.
he scares the hell out of her. I do like Neil. I hope Neil's a Jedi. That'd be awesome. I want an Alpha Jedi. Give me an Alpha Jedi.
I like them all. I think they're all, like I said, they weren't cheesy or corny to me. Like kids annoy me for the most part. So, uh,
Yeah,
but they didn't. So that's, you know, and it was it was well paced and it
yeah,
looked like Star Wars. It felt like Star Wars, which you can't say that about all Star Wars today. But including the contemporary cues, music cues, and stuff, that just adds to it for me. That doesn't bother me, right?
hmm
This is the most Earth-like planet
yes.
that we've seen in Star Wars, so it kind of makes sense
Even
thematically to
the
have.
planet, looks like a futuristic Earth.
Yeah, and in the way it's lit and the way it's
Yeah,
shot is very specifically
the suburbs look like a suburbs of a
take
typical American town,
that
whatever.
shot is literally from ET. The shot where the
Yeah,
camera, yeah, like so. You'll hear this thrown around a lot that it's an
and
Amblin style,
and the
Amblin
thing is,
80s Amblin style, and it very much is the way
it
that it's lit, the camera
course
placement,
it's so the
pans.
opposite. It's the opposite of Coruscant because Coruscant, you to travel is actually like you're flying and you're actually flying. Here, you're not really flying. You're just a little bit above the road,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, I'll
Like
be back in a second, Aaron.
okay, it's like it's like it's a very it is very Earth-like. The planet they come from. Yeah, of course, technology is advanced, but you have like the buses, kind of. They have the cars. The speed bikes are basically the bicycles slash motor. I guess mopeds. I don't think they're allowed uh, to drive yet. It's very Earth-like. That's what I like about the show so far. Uh, I do like it's interesting as the pirates. I mean, it's Jude Law's character. I wonder if he's like. Of course, he has an agenda, a goal in mind. Kind of like Han Solo, right? Han Solo is just is a pilot. Happens to be at the tavern, Mos Eisley, and they come up to him. Luke and Obi-Wan want you need a pilot to get to the Death Star to rescue the Prince Leia, and it's just for the money. I wonder if he's a scoundrel, money smuggler. I wonder if he was just using them for money and stuff. I wonder if this guy I forget the captain's name. I forget Jude Law's character's name. I think it's Sibo or something like that. He's using kids to get back at his pirates. Also sees the treasure because he's a pirate. They all love treasure, right? And then the thing is, yeah, he was thinking of betray him, to betray the kids eventually. But I think he won't betray the kids because they would not show him as they would not show him as in the first 5 10 minutes of episode one. You would not show his character in the first 5 10 episodes. The thing is, you don't if he'll probably betray the kids and have a change of heart and be an ally with the kids, help the kids. But I don't think I think he'll eventually be a good guy. Be like, kind of like Han Solo. Han Solo became a good guy. He was just there. He was just there in in A New Hope for money to take Luke and Obi-Wan to the Death Star to rescue Princess Leia. I think this character is kind of like that. He has his own agenda, but he'll be like Han Solo and do the right thing, stand by the kids. And my point why I say that is because if they want you to make you think he's going to betray him, you don't show him in the first 5 10 minutes episode one. He's betrayed by his crew. You say you don't show that. You don't show that. If you, the only way you can think he'd be betrayed his kids is by introducing him in the same prison cell.
Yeah.
Okay, like so he's gonna be like Han Solo. Like Han Solo was just there for the money for selfish reasons. I think that's his character, right? He's gonna be like Han Solo there for selfish reasons, but then eventually grow a conscience and do the right thing. And even though he's kind of ruthless, because I think what he did to that guy who protected the vault, I think they threw him out of the airlock or something and told his crew to throw him out the airlock. And it was like, you think?
I like how they're not afraid to put the kids in danger, even though we know.
Yeah.
You know. But if they kill one of the kids, that'll be a shocker.
Oh, I don't think they're going. I don't think they have the guts to kill one of the kids.
I don't know.
The thing is like Disney Star Wars. I mean, this is actually. I think the original Star Wars is a lot more violent than the Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. For the most part, I guess you're right.
Okay, if I know some people hate Disney Star Wars. Oh, this is Disney Star Wars. The thing they have a point in is probably like how far they're willing to go. Okay, right? And they did kill kids in Revenge of the Sith, but you didn't see that. You didn't see it. They're not gonna show.
Nope.
Okay.
Sure didn't.
But no, the trilogy, I mean, you got a fucking head cut off. I think when Luke killed that beast, that monster in the first film, on Battle of Hoth. I don't know. I think stuff came out of that beast.
Oh, when he kills the Wampa, when he cuts the Wampa's arm off.
Yeah. I mean,
I think you could survive losing an arm to a lightsaber.
Sure. I mean, that guy did, didn't he? In the bar, tried to pick a fight with Luke, and then then Obi-Wan I don't think he chopped off his arm, but I think he chopped off it was his arm.
Yeah, it was like it got him at the shoulder.
Yeah.
Were there ever any canon stories about what happened to Walrus Man after Obi-Wan cut his arm off and came through?
I don't know. That's a good.
There was this one-armed walrus guy came in here looking for an old wizard.
What happened to the Greedo? He's dead. Greedo.
Well, Han Solo paid to clean up the mess, so they're good.
Who shot first? Well, Han Solo shot first, because if Greedo shot first, Han Solo would be dead.
Han spoke last.
Yeah.
That's my shirt. Han spoke last. Yeah, let's see. Who else? Basically, the only person who ever took a lightsaber like a puss was Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, right through the chest, yeah.
Only he's going to die from something like that.
Oh, yeah, because there's been other incidents where people did get stabbed in the area and survive. I mean, well, I remember Sabine Wren got stabbed, but I think she got stabbed on the side of her stomach, not in the middle.
Darth Maul was cut in half. And dropped down a shaft.
Oh, same with Emperor Palpatine.
Like, somehow Darth Maul lived.
Oh my god.
I know we've seen it. It's not like Palpatine.
The Palpatine. And now Darth Maul, we don't know what's gonna be up with Darth Maul because we just see him in Solo, I'm like, come on, what's up? What's up with Darth Maul now? Like, what's the plan with Darth Maul? They gotta do stuff with Darth Maul. You can't just leave it off with that. It's like stars. Yeah,
Good
like
question.
the thing is, the way some people the Star Wars, the way people take death and non-death in Star Wars is so confusing because like it's just really weird. It's strange.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's space fantasy.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, it is space fantasy. That's the best way to describe Star Wars for sure. And I like that. I like how there's different aspects of Star Wars. Like, yeah, it's space fantasy, but there's like mobsters, gangsters. You know, like on Tatooine, there's pirates. I like all of that. There's expanding all of that.
There's politics. There's family.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I appreciate about it.
yeah, and
And I feel the same way about the DCU too. But it's just giving me that vibe that lived in a world where I don't know.
I said the exact same about Lord. No, they're playing. They came out with Lord of the Rings stuff today. This came out today, but not yesterday. Unfortunately, when I did my stream yesterday, they're thinking of doing more trilogies, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Hunt for Golem necessarily needs to be a trilogy. I don't think it's a trilogy story. Hunt for
I
Golem.
think they're going to make it a trilogy here.
Oh, but why? Hunt for Golem is like Hunt for Golem only takes
Because
if you read the book, if you know those books, it's only basically Gandalf setting Aragorn to get Golem before the forces of Mordor gets him. That's it. You're gonna make a whole story about that? You got to come up with bullshit.
7 fucking hours of Aragorn riding a horse.
Yeah, so
pastures.
you're gonna have to take liberties with the story then, because you got to come up with stuff for that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things Warner Bros. Can do. I mean, unfortunately, the Rings of Power has a lot of the Second Age stuff, right? I mean, if Warner Bros. Can get their age, some of the stuff on Second Age, they could do something like the DCU, where you have different stories taking place at different times, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Second Age is full of that. I mean, there's so much stuff you can tell from Second Age. Second Age, so much stuff. Because in the Amazon show, a lot of stuff that's taking place in the Amazon show don't actually really coincide together. Actually, some stuff, the events in the Second Age, in the Silmarillion, is actually centuries to 1,000 years apart. The Fall of Numar and all the others like that is actually centuries apart.
Yeah, I know it's an adaptation. They should take liberties, you know.
Yeah, because they have to, right? Because they planned 5 seasons, they have to cram it in, right? Because we know that the final season is going to probably be like the forces of Middle Earth traveling to Mordor to take on Sauron finally, right? Right?
So am I understanding it right that they've already financed?
They're doing season 3.
No, they've already financed the completion of the series through season 5.
Oh, I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Like regardless of the ratings.
I mean, they introduced Gandalf. Gandalf doesn't come to Silmarillion for thousands of years after all this, after the form of Gondor and just the fall of Numar and all that shit. That's like Gandalf doesn't come for thousands of years, but they have to cram it all in. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the War of Warhammer is going to be interesting because that takes 200 before Fellowship of the Ring, right? About 200 years, I believe. And that's about the Duel of Links. I don't know if people might not understand what they are. In the Two Towers, the Duel of Links are the wild men that raided the Wuhan villages. That's what the story is about, right?
Yeah.
Right, and nothing really happens to them. You don't know what happens to them in the Two Towers. They got off scot-free.
It's about Helm Hammerhand and Helm's Deep and
the Duodades are descendants of the Hal Hammerhand and Wolf and all that stuff, right? Like Wolf is the villain. It was supposed to be Rohan and the Duodades are supposed to combine, right? How two kingdoms, kingdoms to create peace between the two kingdoms, for not just peace but other reasons. Yeah, you marry my daughter, my princess marries your prince, that kind of shit. That was what the plan was, but it doesn't go that way. And they caused this 200 years of strife and war between the two. But I don't think
they'll make trilogies like interfilm trilogies based on sections of the book that weren't filmed before.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, the Nazgul when they were told when Gollum said when Gollum yelled at Shire as he's being tortured, right? The Nazgul had no idea what a Shire was, so they had to go to Saruman, who was corrupt at the time. Saruman told him what a Shire was, but it didn't make sense because the Nazgul always follow the ring, right? So they should know they should not have to go Saruman. They should be like the ring is like a magnet for them. It's calling to them. It's kind of like it's kind of like the I forget what it's called, Venom 3, right? When becomes Venom, the xenomorph, not xenomorph, but xenophage.
Yeah, the
Um,
xenophage.
yeah, right. It says a signal to them. That's what the ring should be. The ring is supposed to be a signal to the Nazgul. They should not have to go to Saruman if you think about it. Like, but that's what happens, and
Yeah, they're gonna need somebody to play Saruman in these movies.
oh yeah, for sure.
Like I said, they took unused drops from his scenes from the other Middle Earth movies he was in, and they composed his dialogue out of that for Rohirrim.
He was actually in the third Lord of the Rings movie. If you saw the extended edition, he was in Return of the King extended edition.
Yeah, he dies.
Which that's not how he dies in the book, though. He tries to take over the Shire in the book.
Yeah, because they cut all the scouring of the Shire stuff out.
Yeah, because it's not really important. If you really think about it, it's not really important.
I bet they make a whole trilogy about the scouring of the Shire.
Yeah, I mean, that really has nothing to do with Sauron. And he was in the first Hobbit, and I think he was in the third Hobbit movie. He was in the second one.
Those movies are utterly forgettable for me.
Yeah, the second one I thought was okay. It was pretty good.
When I pull out, I mean, I like them, but they're just, I don't feel the need to keep going back and watching them every year like I do with the.
The thing I did not like some of the Sauron stuff in that movie because I know the first movie like that's a Morgul blade. We buried the Nazgul. I'm like, you can't bury a fucking Nazgul. A Nazgul cannot be killed. You can't bury a Nazgul. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Nazgul in the Hobbit were probably hiding until Sauron's ready to make his return. And the Don G'Dor stuff does not happen in the Hobbit books. That stuff does not happen. Sauron does not make his return in the Hobbit. In fact, Sauron was in the Hobbit. I think was already back at Mount Mordor. And in the books, there was a body there's supposed to be a body being made for Sauron, right?
Yeah.
Right. But because the eye was never real. The eye was not in the books. The eye of Sauron was not in the books. That was for the movie. Right?
Yeah, like I said, they take their liberties when they feel like they must.
Yeah, and Rings of Power. I mean, the Rings of Power. Sauron is so OP. My God, he's so damn powerful.
That's kind of the point of the character, isn't it?
He's definitely more powerful than the elves. I mean, because the elves don't really have that kind of magic. I mean, Gadriel does eventually learn magic, right? We know that. But what he could do, and he's hell of a combat fighter because he was always a combat fighter, and when he was a servant to Melkor, he was a general, right? So, and I like his I understand like I like his reasoning for but he thinks he's trying to do good in the Rings of Power, but he thinks the only way to achieve peace is by like authoritarian dictatorship, right? That's Sauron's thing. Right?
That's a hallmark of authoritarian dictators.
Yeah, peace. They're so
peace through strength.
Yeah, and he kind of blames Morgoth and Melkor for that because he felt like he was a slave to Morgoth. He actually cried in the show. I mean, like, Sauron, you don't need to cry. He actually cried in the show. And Morgoth was actually more powerful than Sauron because they actually had to take the Valor to take down Morgoth.
Yeah, it gets too heady and deep and complicated for
Yeah,
me, man. Just give me the straightforward shit, and I'm good.
yeah. It's I mean, I like Adar, the character, even though he was created for the show. I like that character, Adar.
Yeah, I like the whole birth of the orc thing,
Yeah.
or
I mean,
birth of the Urukai thing.
yeah, every evil creature in the Middle Earth was created by basically started by Malkor and Morgoth. Like, Morgoth
Yeah,
is except for the spiders. The spiders were not Morgoth's plan. They were basically Oliget was supposed to be another evil spirit,
yeah.
something like
I always love how people talk about there's no religious allegory, and there's no
that.
there's no allegory for the Industrial Revolution. And Tolkien said there was never any of that in his books. It's like
That's
the whole thing is
bullshit.
about the whole thing is about religion and
What do
the
you think?
Industrial Revolution. What are you
Malkor,
talking
Malkor Morgoth is supposed to be like the devil. It's supposed to be the devil, and Sauron to a point was supposed to has aspects of the devil in him too.
Yeah, but they're like literal, genuine, like respected and like critical analyses of these books or these in these movies. That
Tolkien was Catholic, wasn't he? Religious Catholic?
what was he? I thought he was Protestant, but I don't know.
Was.
I'm not
Well,
entirely
there's a lot of
sure.
religious allegory, and because Tolkien is very like Tolkien has always been known as black and white in Lord of the Rings. There's no gray. Like Sauron is evil. There's no gray, right? Like, there's nothing
Well,
gray.
what kills me is they say the lack of allegory over the Industrial Revolution. Where I mean, that's pretty much what the Two Towers is about.
Yeah,
Is about it, the industrial, at least the backdrop is
yeah.
of their journey is they're
And
cutting down all the trees and building fortifications and factories to make more orcs and so
well, but the thing is, the orcs were not originally trees; they were elves.
no, that's what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
they were using the trees to build the things, and then they were birthing them in those chambers
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah,
built with the trees, and they were burning the trees for fuel.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. There were, yeah, yeah. The elves were, the elves were. I mean, except for Adar. Adar was just a corrupted elf, but the other orcs were elves at one point. Um, like every evil spirit was.
Urukai, right?
Urukais. I don't think Sauron's orcs are not Urukais.
No, but
Saruman's are.
Adar is the
Yeah,
first of the Urukai.
yeah. But I don't think Sauron uses the Urukais that much because in the trilogy movies, Saruman created the Urukais, right? And yeah, like the very powerful, more smart, very strong, more strengthened orcs you see in the those are the Urukais, even right?
Yeah, the big giant
Yeah,
man flesh. Those guys.
meat's on the table,
Man,
boys. They're
yeah,
cannibals.
looks
too,
like
man.
meat's back on the menu, boys.
They're freaking cannibals. The orcs are
Uh-huh.
cannibals. They really eat their own. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's like I said. There's got to be a little scariness
And
in it,
there's
a little
female
danger.
orcs. It makes a power.
All right, homie. I don't want to cut you off, but I gotta go. I gotta go
Okay.
tuck the wife and dogs in.
I was gonna end it, yeah. All right, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
By the way,
We'll definitely get more into this show as it goes on because the
yeah.
shit's
By the way,
gonna
I'm not
get
gonna do
deep.
this. I'm not gonna do it every week because it's like short episodes. But I'm gonna do it in 2 weeks, episode 3 and 4 together.
Gotcha. I'll be
Yeah.
ready.
All right,
I'll
thank you for
talk to you
coming
before
on.
then. You bet.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
Thanks
doing
for
great.
having
I'm
me.
doing Grace Randall's review on this tomorrow.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you then.